Salvete discipuli. March 15th was the Ides of March, a day very important in the history of ancient Rome. In this video, I will share with you the background of why March 15th is so important, and the lesson will include some related language for you to learn. Cave Idus Martii, beware the Ides of March. Caesar could have used Ides in the back of his head. Mini vocabulary lesson number 1. Cave is the singular imperative. It means beware. A Pompeian Mosaic uses it. Read the Latin below. Cave canem. Beware of dog. Can you think of any derivatives in English from the Latin word cave? Here's a hint. Turn the V into a U. That's right. Caution and cautious are derived from the Latin word cave, beware. How was the Roman Empire cut in two? With a pair of Caesars. It's actually not even entirely not true, because later in its history, the Roman Empire divided itself administratively into a western and eastern half. The definition of Ides. Roman months were divided into 3 sections. Each month had calends, Ides, and nones. This is what March looked like. March 1st was called the calends. Skip down for a moment to March 7, which was known as the nones. The day after March 1st, the calends, was not called the day after the calends. Rather, you were always counting down to the next benchmark. So March 2nd was the 6th before the nones. The day before the nones, March 6th, was called Praedia nones, Latin for on the day before the nones. March 15 was the Ides. And so, what day in March was known as Praedia Ides? That's right, March 14th was Praedia Ides, the day before the Ides. I was mugged! Call 911! Get it? Except it's Roman numerals. This will get more attention than that silly salad they named after you. Get it? He put a target on his back because he's part of the conspiracy. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Mini vocabulary lesson number 2. Calends comes from calendae. Calendae is one of only 4 or so words in Latin that begins with the letter K. The others are calendarium, account book, Carthago, Carthage, and Carthaginiensis, Carthaginian. The Greeks did not use the calends, Ides, and nones. Caesar Augustus once jokingly said that something would happen ad calendas Graecas, on the Greek calends. In other words, what did he mean? He meant never. This is basically something like when pigs fly. Mini vocabulary lesson number 3. Praedia means the day before. Quotidia means every day. Hodia means today. Using your knowledge of Latin roots, what do you think postridia means? That's right. Postridia means the next day, after today. My usual salad, please. Get it? Because he's Julius Caesar? In reality, the Caesar salad is not named after Julius Caesar. It's named after a man whose first name was Caesar, who invented the Caesar salad in Los Angeles. And you know what? I love me a Caesar salad. Let's meet the cast. Julius Caesar, Roman general and statesman, he conquered Gaul and forced the Senate to declare him dictator for life. On the morning of March 15, 44 BC, he is planning a campaign to defeat the Persians. Hey, Brutus, come here and carve, you maniac. Get it? Because like he doesn't know that his friend Brutus is going to actually betray him. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, we're here. Marcus Brutus, a descendant of the original Brutus who deposed the last Etruscan king. Brutus, according to the historian Plutarch, was Julius Caesar's son through an affair between Caesar and Brutus's mother, Servilia Caepionis, although the timeline for that doesn't really add up. Titus Vestricius Spurinna, an Etruscan soothsayer who had told Caesar, "Beware the Ides of March." The historian Plutarch records, "And when the day had come and Caesar was on his way to the Senate house, he greeted the seer with a jest and said, 'Well, the Ides of March are come.' And the seer said to him softly, 'Aye, they are come, but they are not gone.'" The attack! 60 men attacked Caesar on the floor of the Senate. He received 23 wounds. Famous last words. According to the historian Suetonius, Caesar's last words were in Greek and directed to Brutus, who stabbed Caesar in the groin. "Kai su teknon? You also, my son?" I will also post a video I produced a few years back in which I present my theory that Caesar's last words were not Greek. They were Latin, but misunderstood as Greek. Shakespeare is the one who gave us the often quoted last words, "Et tu, Brute? You also, Brutus?" You too, Brute? Get it? Because it's the band U2. Brutus, as he stabbed Caesar, reportedly said, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. Look at that ending, the long is. That is the dative plural ending. Sic semper tyrannis. John Wilkes Booth knew his Latin. He shouted this line after shooting Lincoln. Caesar always was a cut-up. The aftermath. Brutus and other conspirators fought and lost a civil war against Octavian and Mark Antony. Octavian would eventually consolidate control over Rome, defeat his one-time ally Mark Antony, and become the first true emperor, Caesar Augustus. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in our Google Classroom. We will have a short Socrative quiz on the content of this video. Be well. Valete discipuli.